All right, I'm out here. I got to work on the Mule a little bit, which is Kawasaki Mule 4010. It's a good vehicle. We bought it used. It's got a lot of hours on it, a little over 2,500 hours. And one of the things where it was in Sarasota County. And so it was used in the beach areas and in the marshy areas. Thank you. Along the coast. And that means that it's had some rust damage to the undercarriage. And so I want to get after some of that and see if I can replace a piece that's rusted out. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is, here's the driver's seat. And I've removed the fairings along the way here. And you can just see that exposure to the salt water and salt air over time, and probably not a proper wash down process in place, has just led to this straw here being basically rotted through on both ends. So the only thing holding it up, there's a connection point underneath which is also rusted out. So what I want to do is I want to scab a piece on from here all the way back to here and see if I can just add some structural integrity to that piece. And then of course I'll move this wiring up underneath and probably weld in some hooks up underneath there for that to set in so that it doesn't risk catching on something while I'm driving. You know, I moved the Mule here this morning to put it in a shady spot so I could work out here. And this tree is buzzing with bees. All these little things are very sweet right now. It's like flowery, but there's a lot of bees in this tree. Honeybees, love them. And actually, I don't mind the hornets that much. I don't actually like them, but I don't mind them as long as they sort of stay somewhere else. It's when they want to get into my stuff that it becomes an issue. So anyway, what I'm going to try and do is use some square pipe. The frame that I built the chicken coop off of had a large metal rig on top of it made out of this stuff that I cut off. And I've used a bunch of this since then. And now I'm going to see if I can do it. Now, this is almost a government operation because this is square and stuff I'm replacing is round. So I'm gonna cut one of the four sides off. And then I'll kind of shape the tube that's on there now to kind of flatten it a little bit so that this will fit over it, and that'll give me three sides wrapping around it with the open side facing in, and hopefully that'll give me enough on there that I can weld it into position on both ends. I don't know if that's really going to work, but it's the only thing I can think of without having to take it to somebody and pay a bunch of money for it. Anyway, this is what I have. This is the equipment I have, so we'll give it a shot, see how it goes. That's one. One more like that. Day two. I got rained out yesterday. Just thunderstorms rolled in, and I would be upset about that, except it's kind of pretty cool because we really needed the rain. And then rain leads to all kinds of interesting critters coming out. And so earlier we had a turtle out here. She comes up out of the wetlands and decided she was going to come lay her eggs somewhere in our yard, and the cats decided to discuss that with her. But I decided to pick them up and put them inside and leave Mama Turtle alone, let her do her business. And but what I got to do now is I got to finish shaping a little bit of the stuff that's going to go down in here. Hey, there it is. You can see I still got that wire hanging down there. Not too crazy about that. But I got to finish shaping that a little bit so that the replacement pipe will go on there. And then I'll grind down the areas around it so I can get a good weld to make good contact with the metal, and then weld it and see how I did. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, I'm just about ready to weld. I got things set. I know this top part is still rusty looking, but the sides where I'm going to be putting the weld on is all cleared off. And I put the strap on here because I couldn't get it to kind of sit in exactly the position I wanted. That's because of the way the pipe was crumbling underneath. So I put the strap on this and pulled it tight so that it sits flush with the parts that I'm going to weld. Hopefully that'll do the job. I know it's going to get hot, but I'm just going to tack and do some stuff, and then I'll be able to remove this and then finish with the weld. Hopefully that does the job. All right, not beautiful, but it should hold. That's going to do it. That should run for a little while. Positive thoughts. Looks awesome. Going to make it happen. All right, so I think that about wraps it up for fixing up Eeyore. That's the name of the mule, right? Eeyore, yeah. So one thing I got to do is I just got to secure that wire underneath, and that'll be good for that. I'll probably, you know what I'm thinking about doing? I'm thinking about going down to the store and getting some of that great stuff, you know, the expanding foam, and spray that inside there where it and the old rotting pipe are together, just to keep any moisture out of that. That might be good. I think it'll be tight for now, and I'll be able to use that for a couple more years, hopefully before anything happens to my welding job. And also, you may have noticed the hat, Farmer Veteran Coalition. So if you're, if anybody watching this, if you're prior service or you're still in the service and you're thinking about getting out and you're thinking you might like a life in agriculture of any kind, whether it's just homesteading or market farming, or, you know, doing a big agriculture operation, this is an organization worth checking out. It's farmvetco.org. I'll drop a link in the description, and it's worth. I mean, if you're prior service, if you're on the veteran side of it, it doesn't cost you anything to be a member of it, and it's got a lot of good resources and the possibility of finding folks that you can connect with who are perhaps experts in the area that you'd like to go into, and maybe opportunities for internships and that kind of thing. I haven't explored all of it yet, but it's a good mission, and it's a good place to start your search for information if you're interested in that kind of thing. So anyway, there you have it. We'll see you guys next time.